Why is the ending of watches pronounced with an is while the ending of sleeps is pronounced with an s? If we pronounce dogs the same in the sentences I love dogs and the dog's sleeping right now, how do we tell s from apostrophe s? These and other questions will be answered on this week's Voiced-Unvoiced. Greetings, North American English Language Learning Several, and welcome to Voiced-Unvoiced. I'm Jim Snowden, here to help you navigate the tricky areas of North American English pronunciation. If you watched last week's video on the ed ending and the video from 2 weeks ago on voiced and unvoiced sounds, you already know a lot of what you need to know to understand how s, es, and apostrophe s endings work. If you haven't watched those, I suggest pausing this video to go watch them now. Don't worry, I'll still be here when you get back, though we'll also be here. That's right, with my videos, you can travel through time. It's an added bonus I don't charge for. Are you back? Great. The pronunciation of s, es, and apostrophe s endings are determined in much the same way as the pronunciation of the ed ending is, whether the last sound of the root word is voiced or unvoiced. However, because the s and z fricatives sound close to a wider variety of consonant sounds than the t and d stops do, there are more uses for the is pronunciation than there are for the id pronunciation. As you can see from this chart, we pronounce s, es, and apostrophe s endings as is if the final sound of the root word is an s, z, ch, j, sh, or zh sound. Pronounce these words with me. Passes, pleases, catches, changes, swishes, massages. Apart from these sounds, if the last sound of the root word is voiced, s, es, and s endings are pronounced with the voiced fricative z sound. Here's a chart with a list of z sound endings. Pronounce them with me now. Ribs, kegs, cords, loathes, caves, bells, burrs, bears, stars, boars, teams, trains, gongs. Finally, if the last sound of a root word is unvoiced, s, es, and s endings will be pronounced with the unvoiced fricative s sound. There aren't as many of these. Just the p sound as in sleeps, the k sound as in looks, the voiced th sound as in earths, the f sound as in staffs, and the t sound as in gets. Many speakers have trouble with that last one and try to compensate by omitting the t. I advise strongly against this. Now note that these three endings can mean very different things grammatically. S and es endings are used for both plural nouns and for third-person singular regular verbs. So I walk the dogs and look at how that defender dogs him are both ways of saying dogs. And note, in both sentences, dogs is pronounced the same way. Dogs with an apostrophe is pronounced the same way as dogs in those other two sentences. So I walk the dogs and look at how that defender dogs him, and the dog's collar is over there, all have identical pronunciations of the word dogs. How can we tell whether dogs is a plural noun, a third-person singular verb, or a possessive, or a contraction? By context. That's the only way. I hope you enjoyed this explainer on the s, es, and apostrophe s endings. If you'd like to learn more about North American English pronunciation, I have a course on the over 40 sounds of English called The Notes of English. Link in the description for that and for private tutoring. If you have a question about this or any topic in North American English pronunciation, leave it in the comments. I'll answer my favorite question each week in a subsequent video. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for your kind attention.